But before we start, can you tell us a little bit about Amino and what's been happening with Amino the last few years? Because for some reason, Amino has gone a bit quiet in the industry and is operating a nice comeback in the enterprise market. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Of course, yes. So we've been through a few years of change. I'm happy to announce that about 3 months ago, we're now back under private ownership. And during the last 2 years, we've really focused the business on what we call enterprise video and digital signage, which in other words is the Pro AV market. We still have the pay TV side of our business that's strong, but that market is very much dominated by Google now, and you know, it's a very busy marketplace. So our focus is definitely Pro AV. It's where most of our product development is going. And we've still got the benefit of pulling the scale of pay TV over into this market, which makes us quite unique because of the amount of boxes we've deployed. I think it's over 20 million in our time in existence. So yeah, it's a really exciting time, and time to put the pedal down in Pro AV. We've always been in Pro AV, of course, but we've normally manufactured under other people's brand names and OEM'd our products for them. Now we're back as Amino, and we're building our own partner network with lots of CMS companies and IPTV platforms that you will know about, and doing it under our own name.
Okie doke. So let's get kicking out with the current product offering. Can you let us know a little bit more about Amino currently, the products and the positioning?
Of course. So as previously just mentioned, we have 2 sectors to our business. So we have the pay TV side of our business, which is predominantly TV operators distributing our boxes into residential homes. So that's on a really large scale, normally in the tens or hundreds of thousands, to individual residence addresses. That business still remains, but certainly the focus of our business and development is heavily on the digital signage side of the business, which is what we're talking about today. As mentioned, there are a lot of things that we've learned and experienced in the pay TV market that we think are really relevant to the Pro AV market. And I think we look at things slightly differently to a lot of other manufacturers because we've got that test bed within the pay TV market. So some of those you'll see come out in the products on this demonstration.
Excellent.
Moving forward, like I say, we've historically manufactured for partners, and we made a decision a couple of years ago. We want to be our own brand, so everything is branded Amino now, but we've partnered with the people that are excellent within their field. So this slide, I won't go into sort of too much detail on this slide, but in the top left-hand corner, you have some really key players on the signage side of things. So we can run virtually any signage application on the player. We have at the top right hardware partners as well. So that's a mixture of displays, whether it be touch displays, LED. We also have things like Nextmosphere, which is the lift and learn modules that we've integrated into the product. Crestron, I'm sure you're all aware of. So there's Crestron drivers, and then various different IPTV systems that we're compatible with. We're compatible with pretty much all of them. The bottom left is showing some of our partners in the video space. So we do a lot of work with live sports and things where latency is really important, having that latency as low to zero as you can. And the best in the field at doing that are the likes of Dolby, Red 5, Amazon. All their stacks are compatible on the Amino product. So we've spent a lot of time engaging with these partners, making sure that our hardware works seamlessly with them. And then the bottom right is just an example of one vertical where we have an ecosystem that works, which is the sports betting vertical. And whichever vertical you're operating in, we will have a similar set of partners that hopefully complete the circle for everything that you need within that vertical market.
Yeah, that's a very nice ecosystem.
So why Amino? I've not shown any product yet, and that's where we'll get into this now. I think the main thing that I'd like to get across is the expertise we've had from that pay TV industry, and that really sets us apart from what any of our competitors are doing. So this slide sort of highlights what we do differently, and the main part of what we do differently is how we handle Android. Our media players are Android. There's a lot of Android devices out in the market at the moment. And quite frankly, a lot of them are managed really badly, if at all. We can't do that. We can't have unsupported devices in the pay TV world. So we've learned all the lessons of that in a different market. We actually adhere to some Google standards which enable us to upload security patch updates every 3 months. So every 3 months without fail, we release a new firmware which keeps the Android platform as stable and as secure as anything else out there, if not more so, because there's hardly any media player manufacturers that actually have a structured upgrade path, so to speak. They tend to do a release and release it. We do it every 3 months.
Okay.
That enables.
I guess you have developed some kind of tool to be able to address that, not only for the core of Android on the set-top box, but also the CMS that goes with it, or the APK.
Absolutely. So the end of this presentation will actually show you live how we manage the boxes and put all this software stack on it.
Excellent.
The other benefit of us managing the firmware in the way that we do is we're actually able to upgrade through the Android paths as well. So pretty much any Android player you buy out there lives and dies with the same version of Android on it. We don't do that because we want to keep things up to date. So for instance, if you buy a H200 Amino player today, it's on Android 12. By the end of June, Android 14 will be.
So you've got today 2 set-top boxes, the well-known Aminet, which is a name we like in France. There is a word trick into it, but I won't go into it right away. But you have, in a nutshell, 2 versions. You've got one which is network-based, wired, Ethernet, and one which is both Ethernet and Wi-Fi at the same time.
Correct. Yeah. So probably 90% of all the projects we do tend to be the standard H200, as people like to utilize the power over Ethernet. They're both 4K, but sometimes, especially in retail, there's never a network cable where you want one. Marble floors and things don't help with that. So we decided to do a dedicated Wi-Fi version of it. So it's dual band, Wi-Fi 6, the best Wi-Fi experience you can have.
Yes, indeed. Wi-Fi 6 brings about 9 gigabytes.
Exactly.
Which is more than enough.
Orchestrate is the sort of third USP that we've got, and arguably the strongest one. It's what our customers love, and it's where they can really add some value and save a lot of money as well. So this is a device management platform that's been developed about 10 years ago, originally for our pay TV market. And that's important because if you're sending a box to someone's home and you send an engineer out, that's all the profit gone in that deal. So it's the best test bed to use a remote tool is when you're dealing with lots of people's homes on different networks and unqualified users, if you like. So we've reintroduced this product into the Pro AV world with its own look and feel and its own functions on it. It's designed to do 3 things. The first one is to pre-provision boxes, or zero-touch configure boxes. So what that means is you could send a box straight from Nicola's website to your end user without it having to touch your offices, a bench, or an engineer. And as soon as it's plugged into the network, it will configure itself and be up and running. So that's option number 1 of what it does. Number 2 is to manage and update that box when it's out in the field. So when our firmware is released, new security patches, if the CMS provider has a new version of their software, we can do all of that remotely in one go.
From this interface, not only the firmware and the box itself, but the software that runs on it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'll show you that shortly.
Okay.
And then the third thing it does is enables, when there is a problem, and there's always problems with the screen, for you to remote onto that device and not just look at the media player, but look at the network and look at the screen and all those settings and get that screen back up and running, but remotely. So I'm not going to go into every feature of this. It's just to give you a sort of a flavor of what it does. We work in configuration groups. So you simply input the serial numbers of all the devices you want in a certain group onto the platform once and add them to a configuration. This is a configuration here, and it's made up of 3 sections. Firmware, which is the firmware that we publish every 3 months with all the good bits from Google in, our product development, etc. But we don't push it to the boxes. That's a big mistake a lot of our competitors do. They just do random updates straight to the hardware. We publish it to this, and whoever's managing that estate then pushes it out when they want and how they want. So firmware is number 1. Number 2 is the settings of what you want that box to do. So on this particular unit, I'm using the AppSpace CMS, and I want that to be the home app. So it's going to boot straight into AppSpace. And whenever I go to a menu or another screen and back out of it, it's going to land back on that CMS. So it's always front and center.
Very clever.
And as we've mentioned before, we're actually running IPTV on this device as well. So I've got a channel lineup of 10 streams on there. So I can show you how we can switch between the 2 of those information directly to the box for really sort of advanced network problems. But most of the time, you just want to see what's going on, or you want to reboot the box.
Is that the remote access you got there?
Yeah. Or? Yeah. So I can reboot the box.
Yeah.
I can even factory reset it, which is quite unique.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it's just going to flatten the box. The box will call home again, install all its settings, and be up and running 5 minutes after the fresh install. So that's a really powerful tool. If I click remote access, it shows me exactly what's playing on the box. So I managed to pick a still slide there, but you can see there is some movement in it. So this is showing me a low bitrate video of exactly what's coming out of the HDMI port. So this is running AppSpace at the moment, but I've also got a remote control at the side here. So if you remember, I'd set up IPTV on this device as well. So if I hit the guide button, that's actually going to switch across to IPTV and show me what the channel is showing. I can channel up and down and change the content on here. Let's go see what's on daytime TV. And then if I just hit X, it goes back to running the signage. So it's that easy to switch between the two.
Yeah, that's very powerful indeed.
I can also access things like the menu if I want to as well. It's as if I'm an engineer sat in front of the screen with the remote control.
Excellent. Excellent. That's so useful.
So that's a sort of whistle-stop tour of Orchestrate, but it would be great. Have I stopped sharing, by the way?
Yes, you have.
Okay, great. The main thing is, we have lots of demo units and we have demo accounts of this. So anyone that wants to have a play for themselves, try their own signage system, we're happy to support you with demonstration units and access to this system so you can really have a go at it yourself.
Brilliant. And of course, we've got some units here at Sky Group. If you want to come and test the unit, we can let you have one to play with a couple of weeks or more. Feel free to contact us if you want to give it a ride.
Of course, and obviously with customers as well, if there's proof of concepts, then we have that demo fleet available. If your customer wants to trial one for a month or whatever it may be, again, speak to me or the team at Sky.
Yeah, and there is a 4 GB version of the box as well, isn't it?
There is, yeah. It's currently out of stock at the moment. We have got more stock on the way. The Wi-Fi unit is 4 GB though, so yeah, there are various options there as well.
Very good, very good. Let's move on to the last few slides.
Sure. Oh, we both did the same.
Thank you. Well, that was quick.